UK boxing blogger, coming right back at ya. Right, this is my prediction video for the upcoming fight this weekend between Bernard Hopkins and Kovalev for the undisputed title at the light heavyweight division, the right to be named the #1 in the division. Great fight, cannot wait. It's the master boxer versus the powerful come forward puncher. It's a great clash of styles, and there's a lot of variables that I think could turn this fight either way. Right, first of all, I'm going to break down either fighter's chance of winning it, and then I'm going to give you my prediction on the way that I think it's going to go at the end, and I'm not going to sit on the fence. Right, first of all, I'll start with Kovalev. Kovalev, obviously, he got to be looking to put the pressure on Bernard Hopkins throughout the whole fight. You know, he can't be second guessing himself. He can't be following Bernard around the ring. Can't be getting countered, and he can't be throwing punches and then not bringing more punches into play. So what I mean by that is throwing single shots and letting Bernard Hopkins move away, turtle up, or slipping nice counter right hands. Or even let Hopkins dominate him with a jab and just stare at him all night. But I don't think that's the way it's going to go at all. I think it's going to go the way of Kovalev going forward at Bernard Hopkins in a way. So then he's got to be strong as hell. And I see a video, of the 24/7 video, where his trainer, who's trained in the Bernard Hopkins camp before, said, look man, you've got to commit, you've got to go hard and strong and wear him down. You can't be second guessing yourself. So the way to do that is obviously he's gonna have to just punch them arms. He's got the hardest punch in the division. He needs to wear Bernard's arms down. He needs to hit him to the body and hit him to the temple and the side of the head, and through the top of his shoulder to the side of his head, to the back of the head, if that's the only shot that's available to him, and that will break him down. You know, so the only way I can see is him by doing them things and getting to Bernard late, to the point where Bernard gets old in the ring and, you know, he just can't go anymore. You know, his body's just not going to be able to take the wear and tear of a big man like that, a big puncher hitting on him like that. Right, so that's the way I see it. It'll be a late stoppage for Kovalev. That's 7 to 11, somewhere around then. If Kovalev wins, I don't see Kovalev just taking Bernard out. You know, he might catch Bernard a couple of times and have Bernard all over the gaff, but Bernard will know how to survive. You know, from that point it'd be a gradual wear down. But, you know, that would be very interesting, because I've never seen Bernard like that really ever in his career. Right, so we go to Bernard Hopkins, his way. So he's going to be using his masterful movement to draw Kovalev in. But every time Kovalev will come in with a single shot, he'll be hesitant, so he'll start with the single shots early on, but he'll never break out that pattern, because Bernard Hopkins will sidestep, he'll turtle up and come back with quick fire right hands, you know, and he might even be able to dominate with the jab as well, you know, and all this will offset Kovalev. And what this will do is it'll start a pattern. And this is the way I think the fight's going to go, in a way, where Kovalev will just be hesitant, and he will follow him about, and Bernard will, use the terminology, school him because of all these things, and he'll be just manoeuvring him about the whole ring, and just basically, just fighting his fight, you know, keeping him at his pace, you know, and just landing nice flush shots every now and then while Kovalev's just standing in front of him, because he'll get confused, I believe. But, you know, I think also Bernard Hopkins is going to have to be on the money straight away, you know, so when he comes in with these single shots, he's going to have to be able to counter him really quickly at first, just to discourage him a little bit and get him into that pattern nice and early, and Kovalev will just follow that pattern throughout the whole fight, and they get dominated for 12 rounds. But I could see one thing: if Kovalev is as limited as some people think when his power doesn't work for him, you know, maybe Bernard can start from around 6 to round 8, start pushing him back a little bit, and really dominating him. Start landing nice, big, spiteful punches. The last couple of fights, Bernard Hopkins has actually, been quite aggressive for Bernard since like around the Calzaghe fight and a couple of fights around the Pascal and that. I know he dominated Pascal and Tavares Cloud, but the Murat fight and the Shumanov fight, I know they're probably a different standard of fighter, but a similar fighter to the one he's fighting tomorrow night. He might be able to hurt this guy. If this guy's power, Kovalev's power, can't, get him in the fight and he's getting outclassed, Bernard Hopkins might even lay it on him a bit late. That's my prediction. So I've given you the only way I think Kovalev can win, and I wouldn't be surprised if that does happen, because Bernard Hopkins is a 50-year-old man, basically. Maybe Kovalev, a guy like that who punches that hard and is relentless, is not the kind of guy you need to be going with at that age, especially if you get old overnight in that ring. He's been training, he lives the life, but this last 6 months to 9 months since his last fight, just might have already caught up with him. You just never know till he gets in that ring. Every time he gets in the ring at this age, you just never know. And if it is the night he's going to lose another half step or a complete step, that's not the kind of guy you want to be in there with. But saying all that, I believe Bernard Hopkins dominates, becomes the best fighter of this era, concrete, cemented down. He's the number one, not Manny Pacquiao or Floyd. I still think at the moment he is the number one of this era. He's unified the middleweight division. He had 20 defences of that title, a nice record nearly, or a record, and he was the man at that division. He moved on, beat Pavlik when he was the man and scaring everybody, schooled him. He then went on and beat Tarver, the man who beat the man in Roy Jones at light heavyweight. Went on and he had the WBC title not a few years back, and now he's got the WBA and the IBF strap. The guy is a living legend, already done enough to be the best in this era for me. He's always fought all comers, and just by taking this fight against somebody like Kovalev I thought it was nuts, absolutely nuts. But that's him. He's a throwback fighter. He's the man, and he's the number one of this era, even before tomorrow night's fight. But if he does beat Kovalev, I know the first thing everybody's going to say, Kovalev was overrated and he was limited, but that's not what I think. If he manages to beat that giant of a man, not by size but by what he brings to the table, he is easily pound for pound number one of this last era that Floyd and Manny Pacquiao were in. That's my opinion. Bernard Hopkins, a dominating 12-round performance and really dominating, coming on strong, and may even get the knockout. UK Boxing Blogger out. Leave your comments below. Let me know how you feel. Peace.